Okay. So I'll call the meeting
sense?
to order. Today is Wednesday, May 10th. We are opening the meeting for the zoning board of Newbury. And today we have the draft to be agreed upon from the Vieres and their accessory apartment. So I'll open that up if anyone has any comments about that. Can you hear me?
Yes. Oh, and here comes Eric. He's connecting to audio. Hi, Eric, can you unmute?
I gotta repeat my apology.
That's
said
okay.
hello.
Yep. Since Mario has to leave at 5:30 and we had a forum because he and Jack are here, I actually asked him just to open the meeting. So the meeting is open. Now we've got all three of you, which is good. And maybe since Mario has to leave in a few minutes, if he has comments, it would be good for him to go first.
No, I read the document. You know, I think there was only one note about number 3 on there. I didn't quite understand what the decision was on that or what the answer was on that. So that's the only question I had. It was on the last page. Somebody had a question.
Right, Chrissy had a question. I do have a suggestion on that, but I don't know if we want to go through any other comments first. And I'm sorry, I'm sort of taking over here, but
No, go ahead.
Go for it, Martha. What was?
So that question had to do with the general usual language is that the special permit and the conditions related to it will run with the land and the applicant's successors and assigns. And in this case, it's a special permit for a detached accessory apartment, which basically is based on ownership. I was wondering whether it might make sense to say the special permit grant is granted subject to the provisions of section 9710D8 occupancy requirements. But maybe there's some better way.
You know, we're trying to make reference to it. And the other thing I would say is that if it's clear that it just, I mean, the rest of this is trying to state, this is the one section of the bylaw where it's pretty black and white in terms of everything that's listed, right? It's not as much interpretation. Do we just want to save space and say exactly what you said, which is fine, Martha, or do we want to just add the part about should the property owners move, then the special permit must be resought? Just to take the language right out of the bylaw.
Okay.
Yeah, number 5. Do you want me to share this on my screen? Would that be helpful?
Yeah, I could do that too.
Okay, I've got my annotated version. I don't know if you want me to do that. Otherwise,
sure. Yes, please.
Okay. It's coming up now. Are you able to see that now?
Yes.
Okay. So related to that, so number 3 was the language about generally binding and running with the land. Number 5 actually is the applicants must comply with the requirements for an occupancy permit. Maybe those two can be combined. I don't know that you actually need to spell out the requirements again, as long as they're referenced in the decision.
Yep. So yeah, you could delete 3 and just keep 5 as it's listed.
So take that out altogether. Chrissy, do you want me to make those changes on this?
I would appreciate that because then I'll reference your changes in the morning to incorporate them. Thank you, Martha.
You're welcome. So yeah, so just delete 3 altogether.
Okay.
And
All right. Mario, did you have any other comments?
No, I didn't. That was it.
Okay. Jack or Eric, I'll go back up to the beginning. We can just kind of go through it section by section.
No, I've read through it. The only other comment I have was that at the meeting, I seem to recall an abutter requesting some plantings along one of the boundary lines, and the owners agreed to put them in. Do we need to, is that a condition? Do we need to cite that, or can we just leave it as part of the record?
That
Yeah,
is
that
added somewhere.
Right. Chrissy has it kind of in the body of the text. And then I had a question also under the conditions, add a condition regarding visual screening between the garage and the abutting property. So I think it should be a condition. I think Eric mentioned that also during the meeting.
I thought it was listed somewhere in the end of the document, wasn't it?
It's not at the end of the document. It's on page 7 of 10.
Oh, okay.
So the finding was that those items have been addressed and the applicants have agreed to, I thought maybe slight modification, install plantings between the existing garage, southwest side,
yeah.
and the rock wall towards the neighbors for privacy screening. So that was a finding that they had agreed to that, but it probably wouldn't hurt to also make that a condition.
Okay, I'll add that as a condition.
Okay, if that
Yeah,
makes
but
sense to everybody.
I've agreed.
Good.
Okay.
Does Peter keep a copy of all the conditions at the ready of the building permit?
Yes, and I upload, once the ZBA, once the decision is recorded, I add it to the building permit. I put in the booking page, I upload the decision to the attachments, and Peter references that, and then I add any other items like plans or sketches that we deem had to be recorded with the decision. Those are all added to the building permit for Peter's reference.
So to me, it would be beneficial that things that we asked for that were not on the plan. Previously, we used to mark up some plans by hand and add and tweak some things and sign the drawings. And those were the drawings that were submitted. So they were for record and they were created. Here, we're asking for something that's not on the plans or on any plans. And so it should be listed as a condition.
Okay, yep.
Good, that's it for me.
Okay, Eric, how about you?
No.
Would you like me to go through mine and then we can go back to anything that seems to be
Sure.
missing?
Hunting for one thing I was thinking about. So if you would go through yours.
Okay.
Well, Martha, before you start, is it okay if I leave or do you need me or because you have a quorum?
It's, okay, you've got the quorum, we've made your comments. I guess if you would authorize the board to make any other comments they deem fit.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I would agree with the comments that they seem fit to discuss and to approve.
Okay, unless you can hold on for another 5 minutes or so.
I can, yeah, I will, but I just may leave and then.
Okay,
Thanks. Bye. I'm here.
okay. So my first suggestion was to actually to date the decision today, since that's the day that you're actually voting on the decision, which is separate from when you close the hearing.
Mhm.
Then going down to procedural history, just a slight tweak to say William and Leslie Very are owners of the property at 177 Middle Road instead of saying homeowners.
Question on that one, Martha. I'm sure
Yeah.
you're right. Don't they have to be homeowners? Don't they have, or occupants? I thought that was part of it.
They do, but it's just a way of identifying them. So they're both the applicants and the owners of the property.
Very good, thank you.
And that's also stated later under the findings of fact.
Okay, very good.
Then going down on page 2, number 5, thought maybe that could be simplified just to say voting members on the special permit application were Eric Swan, Mario Carnavale, and Jack Kelly.
Okay, yep.
Then going down to page 4. C, again, just reinforcing that the applicants are owners of the property. So applicants are William and Leslie Verrier, owners of the property. So they're both applicants and owners.
Okay.
On the next page, suggested slight rewording regarding the septic system. The applicants are installing a larger 1,500-gallon septic tank to accommodate the additional bedroom. The existing leach field has been determined to be adequate, and the Title V process is underway with the Board of Health. And just a couple of, going farther down, adding the in front of garage on page 6 of 10 under A. And same thing in B, the applicants and the garage was built in, just to make it parallel with the rest of the language.
Yep.
And then the one that we just talked about on page 7 of 10, the very first paragraph, applicants have agreed to install plantings between the existing garage southwest side and the rock wall towards the neighbors for privacy screening. And then the one that we just talked about, deleting 3 under conditions on page 8,
Mhm.
letting 5 carry that. But the applicants must comply with the occupancy requirements. And then adding a condition about the visual screening, which could pretty much say what the other item said.
Yep.
And that's all. Those were my only suggestions.
And I was looking at page 6, C and E about the exterior, and if we had clearly said that there were no changes to the exterior of the existing structure, and we do.
Yeah, yeah.
And it might be wise in the future to note how the unit is accessed. Just thinking of the stairs and the porch and the previous one, and this one is internal. But no changes to the outside, kind of says it all.
Okay.
Yeah. So anything else from anybody?
What about exhibits to be recorded with the decision?
You say sketch of layout of detached of accessory apartment. It probably should say floor plan of detached accessory apartment.
Okay, yep.
Board of Health approves septic plan.
I don't know if we don't have one. I could get something from Deb.
Well, they did submit a site plan.
Right, I would
and a
add the
floor
site.
plan.
Yeah, so I would add site plan of
Write it
170
out proper, yeah.
Middle Road. And yeah, if you don't have the approved septic plan, that can't be recorded, but that is a condition that they need to get that. So I think maybe that could come out.
Okay, yep.
And can we title that a surveyed site plan?
Yeah.
Because what we're after is someone has actually measured or stamped or confirmed that this is the site. Things are located properly as opposed to just a decorative site plan.
Right, right.
Yeah,
And
so
Yeah, if there's information, actually, I would also suggest adding who it was prepared by
Absolutely.
and dated.
yeah, I was gonna say the date then confirms what it is.
I'll make it look official as we do in other decisions.
And the only
if
other thing that, go ahead.
if there's any date or anything else on the floor plan that they provided. So I'll just put that in with a question mark.
Okay, I think she might have handwritten a date on it.
Okay.
And the
But
other,
that'll be plan of record. Sorry, Eric. go ahead.
yeah, the other pertinent piece of information is the size of the existing dwelling.
Yeah, and that,
It is recorded up above. We didn't receive floor plans or scaled floor plans in which to prove it out. We used the assessor's card.
So do you want to include that as an exhibit?
Yeah, because, you know, someone's gonna challenge the floor plan and bedrooms, and someone's gonna challenge the site and the location of the existing structure. And then the only thing really other to challenge is the site, is the size and the metrics of meeting the conditions. Yeah.
Okay.
The-
So just
the-
put property record card for 177 Middle Road.
Is that what
Okay.
that's what it's an assessor's card, or is it just called the property record card?
It's called the property record card. I think, Chrissy, isn't that right?
Yep, I just call it assessor's property record card.
Yeah, I think those are the three pertinent other. What am I trying to say? I'm trying to say those are the three minimum things that we would need for this type of special permit, and then people can supplement and add more things, but it's not like those things, like photos of the property, need to get recorded.
Right. What about the certificate that they provided about occupancy? Do you want to have that recorded as well with this?
That's supposed to be part of the building permit or at the
Right.
time of occupancy, so it's not really a part of the special permit. I mean, it's nice to know that they have it, they did it. But it's really, if they want to take occupancy, it's between Peter and them and not really us,
Right, okay.
is the way I see it.
Peter won't sign off on the final inspection until the occupancy certificate is signed off on and uploaded to the building permit.
Right, but as a condition of this special
Oh,
permit,
okay,
there
yeah.
are several things that need to be done before occupancy is had.
Yeah.
And although it's listed here in the special permit, it's really in Peter's charge and in his process of issuing the certificate of occupancy that he would ask for that. I don't think it really needs to be listed here.
Okay,
Okay,
Unless someone thinks otherwise.
it's noted above anyway, and it'll be part, as you said, part of the discussion.
Right.
Permit.
And any changes, we have that. So it seemingly is all covered. I think these will become easier decisions in terms of format. So
It should
I'm
be.
good with it.
All right.
so I can add these changes tomorrow to the decision and leave it in the hallway for signature if that's appropriate.
Yeah, that'd be great. I have until Monday and then I'm gone for 2 weeks.
Okay,
So,
excellent.
I'll make
As
my way
of
over.
tomorrow afternoon, that will be in the hallway whenever everybody has a chance to stop by and sign it. Or next
Oh,
week.
great.
Yep, thank you, Chrissy. I can handle that. I can do that.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yep,
I can do that too.
thanks, guys.
That sounds good. So if it looks good to everybody, then I think a motion to approve the decision as amended and grant the special permit would be in order. Eric, if you want to call for that motion, I'm sorry, I don't mean to keep putting words in everybody's mouth.
That's fine. You're helping us along here and it's all appreciated. So, so moved. Martha's motion. Is there a second?
Second.
All right. all
Mario,
those in-
was that you, Mario?
that was
Yes, it
Mario.
is.
Okay,
So all those in favor, and I'll do it by roll call. So Jack,
Aye.
Mario,
Aye.
and Eric votes aye as well.
all right. So if you're done, you can adjourn the meeting.
All right, motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second.
All those in favor? Jack,
Aye.
Mario,
Aye.
Eric says aye. So Chrissy and Martha, appreciate your and Jack and Mario, this meeting and moving the meeting around to accommodate. And sorry, I was late again. Apologize.
No problem. Have a great time, Eric. Thanks.
All right. Yeah,
Take care.
it's in your
I'll
hands.
leave it in
guys.
the hallway.
You won't get a phone call at 2 o'clock in the morning, promise.
So Martha, one thing is I have the documents and I was gonna look over them. Is it, since I'm not present, can I review them and send them in to the board?
Which,
want to think? For the Olga Way?
oh, for that. Yeah, I don't know. You're not going to be present unless you can zoom in.
Yep.
But yeah, if you have any comments, I would send them to Chrissy
Yeah,
Okay.
I agree.
and me if you want. And
Yep.
then staff could present them to the board.
I think that would be helpful too.
Okay, we'll see if I have any. And either way, I'll send a note that says I looked at them and I either do or don't have questions or comments to be made.
All right.
All right. And
Have
Mario
a good night,
probably is a,
everyone.
Mario is probably as a formal procedure. If I do have comments, then you need to just ask and make sure everybody's aware that I'm
Okay.
not present and that there are comments that were received and you'd like to read these into the record and make sure everybody's on board with it.
Okay, sounds good.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Yeah,
Bye, all.
bye, everybody.
Bye.
Happy
Bye.
travels.